Okay, we now welcome on recurring guest.
That feels good.
Feels good, Bert Kreischer.
Feels good.
And let me say this right now, Bert, off the top. We very rarely will have a guest on this close together. Like, we had you on at Super Bowl. We didn't run it for a couple weeks. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That was probably weird for you. Like, all of a sudden, it pops up that you're on the show.
I'll tell you immediately it came up. And the thing was like, and then my daughter smoked pot. And I was like, oh, fuck, I said that.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, shit, I said that 2 weeks ago. That doesn't count. And then your name came up again, and then you were in town, and we're like, fuck yeah, we'll have him back on. Everyone loved it. So,
dude, it's serendipity because I have been watching you gamble for like the past 2 weeks, and it is so fucking fun. It is so fun to watch people win money.
Yeah, or lose.
Well, it's really the losing part that people really enjoy.
No, I love when you guys were trying to get Patty to tap, and you're going, come on,
yes.
come on. That's like watching porn for men.
Yes.
Or I guess porn for men. They should mash up gambling and porn at the same time somehow.
I'm down for it. It's like those live streams, they're exhausting. I don't know if you saw on Friday night, my alma mater, Wisconsin, played, and they played it was probably the latest tip ever. It was like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So I just started getting like blackout drunk, and I was screaming. I was going to take my shirt off. Like, those live streams just become this, you lose all sense of time and space because you're trapped. You don't even go out. I didn't go outside for 4 days straight, and I'm just, betting on everything. It's my favorite 4 days of the year. I'm happy you enjoy it, but it is chaos. You got to come to one.
I have a gambling problem, but here's my problem.
What do you mean?
Well, when I started making money, gambling didn't matter to me. Like, it just didn't. I couldn't find the rush.
Right.
Like the rush. I remember the first time I really got the rush. I was playing poker with Daniel Tosh and a bunch of guys in Hollywood, and I had the best fucking hand, and I was sitting on it. And the feeling that you get, I didn't need alcohol, I didn't need sex, I didn't need anything. That feeling of knowing you've got the hand and your heart's racing, your hand's trembling, you're trying to hold it in. The only way I get that now, and this is going to sound so stupid, is in my kids' raffles at school.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's not.
Dude.
Listen,
There's nothing better than a good bingo night either.
Yeah.
Dude.
You're talking to a guy right now who, if I win, the 50-50 raffle at a sporting event?
Pull it up.
If I win
Special Olympics 50-50 raffle. I'm not even joking.
If I win a 50-50 raffle.
Yeah.
Wait, did you won it?
Dude, I went into a 50-50 raffle at the Special Olympics, and I said, it was dumb. It was the dumbest bet. I said, what's in the pot? And they were like, I think you can find it, the exact numbers. I think they were like $636. I said, put me in for $636. And they're like, what? And it was the gamble. It was I ended up giving all the money to them.
Yeah,
but it was the gamble. We had a Comedy Gives Back as an organization. Zoe Bud Friedman's daughter runs, and it was all comedians. It was comedians and actors. Okay, so we go in, and it's like $100 for 6 tickets. And so I wait till everyone's bought their tickets, and then I walk over and I said, what's the action?
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean what's the action? I said, how many prizes? What do you got in the pot? And they're like, well, we've sold 150 tickets. I said, okay. I do the math. I'm like, put me in for $3,000. And they're like, wait, what? And I don't tell anyone. I just start winning. And when I win, I get louder and more obnoxious, and all the comedians are fucking loving it. Jim Jeffries is losing his mind. Ben Bailey, but the actors who aren't comedians are like, this isn't fair.
Yeah,
it's a fucking raffle, asshole. I put in fucking $3,000 for this feeling.
Yes.
I won an orange whip, which is a golf swing thing. I won a jacket. I won whiskey. I won everything.
That's amazing.
And then don't get me started on an auction where they're bidding off trips, because my business manager was there. Randomly enough, my business manager was there, and they auctioned off a trip to Four Seasons in Maui. It's in the quarantine. There's no one. No one's going to more Maui at all. And I start off there. Jim Jeffries starts off. He's like, the starting bid's $3,000, and Jim Jeffries goes $3,000. I go, and real quick I go $4,000, and then he goes $5,000. I go $6,000. He's like $7,000, and then Ben Bailey goes $8,000. I go $9,000, and it's going so quick. My business manager is like, "Hold on," and I'm starting. What's the math? What's it cost? Someone Google Four Seasons real quick, dude. I love that. I love the reckless. That is the gambling I can get into.
Yeah, so I went to the Texas State Fair one time, and they do like a giant livestock auction. It's a big thing, and it's just all these huge hats. The guy gets behind the podium, and he's doing the like fast talking. He's got the real Texas drawl. They're bringing the animals out on stage. There's like giant black Angus steer that are going for $500. I was about to bid on a cow. I don't have a place to put it. I wanted to get involved in the auction at the time. I had like a normal sized backyard in Austin, Texas. Yeah. And I was thinking about buying these goats just because the thrill of the auctioneer talking so quickly, it's like that infectious.
It's the best.
You're gonna think I'm lying to you. I really need someone to Google it. I need someone to Google it. So when we were in Trip Flip, it was my Travel Channel show, we spent a day, a week. We take people on adventures of a lifetime, and we spent a week as cowhands running buffalo across Texas. We're outside Houston, Texas. Caddy, Houston. I think no, that's not Caddy. And so we're outside Houston, Texas. So one of the things he says, I want you to take my steer into auction. So I was like, all right. He goes, I expect $25,000 for all my steer you bring in. So we drove steer into town, and I said, I'm gonna fucking knock his socks off. The guy that runs the ranch. I said, as soon as their cattle comes out, I'm gonna put in first bid. I'm gonna jack it up. Yeah. Whatever the first one comes out, I'm going to put in the first bid, and we're going to raise the money for it. And then that way, I'm going to come in. Everyone will have sold just a little bit over what he's expecting.
Right.
Because I'm going to start going back and forth with them. So I swear to God, it is top 5 hardest I've ever laughed in my life. So the first one comes out, and I go, is that John's steer? And they're like, yeah, I'm with 2 other dudes. They're like, yeah. I go, all right. And they're like, hey, John's. And I raised my hand, and he goes, sold. And I went, wait, what? There's no bidding. You just buy them. And I bought a calf for $1,300. I bought a calf, a fucking full calf. I bought one of the ones I was going to sell. I brought it back to him, and I was like, hey, man, I bought one of your calves. Is there any chance I can sell this back to you? And he was like, $800. I was like, I'll take it.
Fuck it, that's fine. Oh, dude, that's amazing.
I swear to God, there's that videos on YouTube, and it is, as soon as I realize what I did, you see it in my eyes, and I'm like, oh fuck. And this is, I didn't have $1,300 to spend on. No one has $1,300 to spend on cattle. Right. You don't have cattle.
The auction though, the auctions are I once got like mildly addicted to auctions. A grocery store chain called Dominic's that was going out of business, so they were selling everything. And I would just go on every day and try to buy like random shit, like carts, everything. Like I bought a bench that I didn't need. That was just it was sitting in the lobby of the grocery store. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but I won it. Like, this feels cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just like winning something. And then, a day later, you're like, wait, what? I don't need this. What the fuck am I doing? But the rush of winning something at an auction or a raffle, there's nothing like it.
I think that more places should do like the 50-50 raffles. Just every day in your life.
Yes.
Imagine if you're going into work and like the subway car in the New York City subway has a 50-50 raffle. If you stay on for 5 stops, they do a drawing. Once you get 5 stops, it'd be incredible.
It would be incredible. I'm not lying to you, Bert. Like, if I won a 50-50 raffle, let's say it like a hockey game, I think I would then become even for my life in terms of 50-50 raffles. Just 50-50 raffles. I buy 50-50 raffle tickets the second I walk into a stadium. Just the second I walk. I had a group of guys at Wrigley who literally they knew me and they knew that I love 50-50 raffle. I bought tickets. They bought the tickets right after me. I bought the tickets right after them. They bought the tickets right after me. And they ended up winning. They won the whole fucking thing sitting right behind me. And I've never been more upset in my life. I have a picture of them. Like they're like, can we get a picture after, celebrating in my face? But it was thrilling to go back and forth being like, no, I'm getting the next one numbers.
They changed the rules to raffles at my school.
At my kid's school.
My kid's school.
I was going to say, you're not your school.
No, at my kid's school, they made it so that every family could only buy 10 tickets.
Because of you?
Because of me.
This is like the Bert Kreischer, this is like the Larry Bird rule?
I have a joke I'm going to put in my special about it. I'm not even messing around. I would go into raffles with just stupid money and go. I mean, I have a problem with it. That, and I'll tell you the other one is that I get addicted to because I'm good at public speaking. Is running for office that I don't want. I've done that. I did that. We went. There's this woman. I'm gonna use real names, so I apologize if I'm gonna use real names.
That was not an apology, but
whatever.
That was just a warning. Not really an apology.
That was the best. Sorry, not sorry.
Mm-hmm. So there's this woman, Jenna Schwartz, right? In our in Valley Village where I live, I'm telling you everything, is we don't have PTA, it's called PACE, right? That's what our PTA is. So PACE president kind of organizes everything at the school. Isla is in 5th grade. She's going to the middle school. We will no longer be working at this school. And they bring us in early for graduation, and it's so that we can, as parents, they get us there early so we can vote for PACE president, PACE, all the PACE thing. Current PACE president, everyone is on stage. I get there early, and I say to Leanne, are you fucking kidding me? They lied to us. We're here for the fucking elections? And she goes, yeah. Now, I had eaten an edible the night before, and that I'd over-medicated myself, and so I still feel it. So I said, well, who's running? And they go through the thing, and everyone's dressed up, and she goes, Jenna Schwartz is running for president, and she's not dressed up. She's in workout clothes. And I said, why isn't she dressed up? Leanne goes, she's running unopposed. I was like, not on my watch. now here's the thing you need to know. Jenna Schwartz kind of fucked me over once, right? Not fucked me over bad, but just in a weird way, So I look back, a guy named Brian Stepanek. He was on, I think, Zach and Drake or whatever. Brian Stepanek. I look back, I go, hey, nominate me for PACE president. And he's like, for real? I go, dead serious. He goes, I nominate Bert Kreischer. I go, I accept. And Leanne goes, what the fuck are you doing? I said, I'm running for PACE president. She goes, honey, hold on, you're not going to be PACE president. No one's going to vote for you. I said, well, let me just give my speech. Jenna Schwartz comes over. She goes, what are you doing? And I said, please don't talk to me. I'm running for PACE president.
We're enemies.
So I go up, and they go, who would like to speak first? Now, Jenna Schwartz has not worn makeup. She's not gotten dressed up. And she also hasn't prepared a speech. She's been running unopposed. Mm-hmm. I get up. I'm almost verbatim. I'll call my fucking wife to prove this is how accurate my speech was.
It sounds like Jenna Schwartz was like experiencing absolute power. She thought that she wasn't gonna be held accountable.
Yeah. My wife better answer. Do you ever fucking call your wife and then you're like, if she doesn't answer, I'm just canceling her fucking phone. She apparently doesn't know how to use a goddamn phone. It's like she'll look at it and go, who is this calling? And I'm like, that's why it rings. That's why it rings. Fuck her. Anyway, I get up on stage. Now it's maybe 500 parents in there, all of which know me. So I've had now 2 kids go through this school. I said, my name's Bert Kreischer. I'm running for PACE president. This is almost verbatim in my speech. I said, I know Jenna Schwartz. I used to hike with Jenna Schwartz on Fryman Canyon. Me, my wife, Lynn Grusin, Kathy Fromkin, and Sandy Tat would hike every morning.
All the names.
All names, all accurate. We would hike every morning at Fryman Canyon right after drop-off with Jenna Schwartz. It was fun. Great conversation. And then one day, she didn't show up. We sat at the trailhead for about 30 minutes, and she never showed up. She didn't call. She didn't text. Nothing. So we decided to hike. And that day we saw her on a hike with Christy Goodman. She didn't say hi to us. She didn't acknowledge. Whoa. And to this day, we have never hiked with her again. We've never spoken about it. And to this day, she hikes with Christy Goodman. If you want to vote for a president that one day will decide the journey they're on with you is no longer the journey they want to take, then vote for Jenna Schwartz. But if you want a president who's going to show up every day at that trailhead and wait for you to take that journey with you until we're done, then vote for me. My name's Bert Kreischer. I'd like to be your PACE president. The fucking room is shaking. Legit dudes are like, that's my guy. That's my guy. Jenna Schwartz like, wait, hold on. I have a bad knee. Wait, you hike too fast. He talks nonstop.
Well, she should have told you about that. There's a little thing called conversations that people can have when they change their plans.
Yeah.
And if they don't say anything, that's a red flag.
I sat down. And my wife goes, you have to stop this. And I go, I just want to hear what she has to say. And they're like, well, that's Bert's speech. Jenna, and she comes up and she goes, okay, hold on one second. Okay, he doesn't really want to be PACE president. This is a joke. You're joking, right? Hold on. I have a bad knee. No, listen, Christy has a bad knee also. And I just raised my hand. I go, I'd like to rescind my nomination for president. And that is the funnest. I got in trouble in college for it. There was a Miss Florida State pageant. And every fraternity had to have a contestant that you brought up. And so we're getting there, and we're sitting in the big auditorium, and no one's taking the mic. And I'm like, I'm going to go up and take the mic. So I get up, and I walk up, and I go, I want to thank you, everyone, for coming. This is so great. Give yourselves a round of applause for just coming out today. And everyone gives themselves a round of applause. I said, awesome. If everyone would just pass forward their physical forms. And everyone's like, physicals? And I go, oh, you guys, that's totally cool. If you don't have physical, I'll be administering physicals in the back bathroom. So just line up back there. And 4 girls got up and walked to the back bathroom. And I was like, I'm fucking around. Well, I got in a lot of trouble. Apparently, I had to go to fucking Omega whatever and fucking apologize at their dinner. I was like, what the fuck? You can't take a goddamn joke.
You're an agent of chaos. I love it. It's just like the moment. There's humor in every moment, and it's like, how can I make this a ridiculous moment?
I think when you become a comedian, you definitely can live in that. But then there's the other side where your jokes don't fly.
But
they're
those
still
are almost
funny
funnier.
sometimes, yeah.
When you get like the anti, like when everyone's like, "Oh my God, how could he say that?" That's even better, I would assume. Have you had that where you're like, you've done something and everyone's like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Fuck yeah, they had a dance. They had a dance for the kids. And then they had taught them like the foxtrot or whatever, and so it was like their first dance. And maybe they're fifth grade, and we got that same auditorium at the school, and the parents sit together, and we're gonna watch our kids do the dance. That's how the first dance goes. So before this dance starts, they pull us outside, and they're like, "Hey, listen, we need to have a conversation with the parents. I apologize." One of the teachers was like, "I apologize. I assumed everyone's gender, and I paired them up boy girl. I assumed a lot, and it's on me. I hope to learn better. But if you're cool with it, the dance isn't going to go forward like this. We're just going to let them pair with whoever they want to pair with, because apparently some parent got upset. We're going to let them pair. It's going to be like girl, boy, whatever. It's just going to be him, them, or whatever. They're all going to pair up, and they're not going to do a dance. They're just going to dance to music. Is that okay?" And now I'm watching parents grandstand, like going like, "Actually, we don't even call our daughter a daughter, whatever." They're like spouting their politics. And so they get to me and Leanne, and they're like, "Are you guys cool with that?" And I was like, "I'll answer that." And Leanne's like, "Please don't." And I said to a group of very liberal parents, I go, "I actually don't care if my daughter dances with a boy or a girl, just as long as it's white." And the fucking, I mean, you could watch. They were just like, "What did he say?" My wife's like, "He's a comedian. He's a comedian." And I was like, I'm just kidding. It better be a boy and it better be white." And there were parents that were legit upset.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude, when I won the raffle that changed the raffles, there's a dude. This is whoa. So I win this one raffle that changes all the raffles, and I go in to Corolla like a week later. And I'm telling him the story of this raffle, and I say the guy's name. One dad got really upset because after I won all the prizes, I then walked around shirtless with all the prizes, going to parents, going, "What did you guys win?" Like, I won all the prizes. I won them all. And this dad's like, "I have a raffle budget." And I go, "Fuck your raffle budget."
Yeah, well, you're pretty much like the reason they invented the salary cap in football.
Yeah.
Just for elementary school.
You'd make a good baseball owner. No, but I think you've tapped into something here, because it's. And I have 2 young kids, and I've just started to get into this world.
Oh, it's so fucking great when you don't care.
Yeah, it's parents, because I've told this story on the show, but I had a thing where my son's preschool got shut down out of nowhere because of like construction and all this stuff. It basically was like these 2 really nice women were running it. COVID shut down. They lost money. Like, they couldn't keep it afloat. It was all very like understandable.
Yeah.
And I was on this parent group chat, and there were people saying there was like a Ponzi scheme and everything, and like all this stuff. And I should have done. I now know that I should just go for it. I almost replied to the whole group and was like, "Now that you guys say it, like, I saw one of the teachers driving a Lambo the other day," because like they would have all taken it so seriously.
Yeah,
I didn't, but now I got to start doing it, because it is like, I think it's the parents' world. Like, I've been in this for a couple of years. My son's 2.5. Like, every time I'm around parents, people take it so seriously, and it's like, what are we doing?
Dude.
Why is everyone so serious?
Our first school was called the Sunshine Shack, okay? And by the way, I'm still using all very real names. Mm-hmm. It's called the Sunshine Shack. It's a great school. It's a great fucking school. It was preschool. It was awesome. First day there, we do like a parents, get to like orientation, and it's all fucking famous people. I mean, it's Billy Crudup's chick at the time. Something Masters. I don't know who it is. But she was in Weeds. His chick at the time. Nia Vardalos, who wrote My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Her husband Ian Gomez. It's everyone. And then Jay Chandrasekhar. Like all these big famous people, and Fred Savage.
And Fred Savage.
So Fred Savage. His kids were, I think, a year below mine, maybe. Or maybe he's Isla's age. So Fred Savage one day. Now I always came to this place hungover. I had always been out doing spots the night before, and one day Fred Savage is there, and he's on the ground playing with the kids. I don't get on the ground for kids. I'm like, I'll sit in a chair, but I'm not getting on the floor.
Adjacent, yeah.
Yeah. He's on the ground, he's playing with the kids, and I'm listening to these moms, and they're like, "He's such a good dad. He is such a good dad." And then one of the moms was like, and you would have known that. Like, knowing who we grew up with him. We've known him since he's a little kid. And when I saw him on the Wonder Years, my first thought, I can't wait to see what he's going to be like as a dad. And he's amazing. And I go over and I go, yeah, he is a good dad. It's so crazy, like, considering who his father was, that he turned out this way. And they're like, who's his dad? I go, Randy the Macho Man Savage. And they're like, for real? And I go, yeah, his mom's a beautiful Elizabeth. And I go, you didn't know that? And they're like, oh, yeah, I guess he has a showbiz family. And then I just walked away. And then the fucking people that ran Sunshine Zach were like, hey, man, are you talking shit about Fred Savage? You want to know the worst one? The worst one was Billy Crudup. I'm sure it's in the news or something. Billy Crudup's a fucking great guy. That's why I'm hesitant to say anything bad about Billy Crudup, and I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's awesome. He wasn't part of this. Billy Crudup's a fucking legit guy, like a legit great guy, top to bottom, a great guy.
But
no, but I think I'm just hoping this isn't gossip, but it's been fucking 17 years. So him and his chick get split up, right? And Mariston Masterson, whatever her name is. They split up, and he starts dating someone else. I think it was a celebrity. I don't remember. I think it was Claire Danes. Someone have to Google it. But it's fodder for the tabloids. So we have a end of the school picnic, and someone at the picnic takes pictures and sells them to the Star or whatever. And fucking because of my constant behavior, they immediately assume it's me.
But nothing about you would say, like, this is a guy that would go behind your back.
I did have a big camera because I was a dad. Because I was a dad.
You've got like this vest on with the rolls of film in it and shit.
But I had like a camera because back then cell phones didn't take pictures.
Right.
So like I had a legit camera because I was a dad. And as soon as I get blamed for something, I start behaving guilty. Like the second you go, hey, did you cheat on my wife? One time found a pair of jeans in my laundry, like girls' jeans, sexy girl jeans. Mm-hmm. She goes, "Whose are these?" And I started laughing so hard that I couldn't defend myself. I go, "I have no idea." And I was like, "I don't know where they came from." And she goes, "Where the fuck would you find these?" And I was like, "I have no fucking idea. I have no idea." And she legit was like, "How the fuck would you have come home with girl jeans?" Her best friend was like, "Fuck him. He's a cheater. Divorce him. He's a cheater. You caught him. He's a cheater. Divorce him." And then my wife's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna wear the jeans." So we go out to dinner with her best friend, Julie, and she wears the jeans. And Julie says, "Hey, you're wearing my jeans." Leanne goes, "These are the jeans I found in his laundry." And she's like, "No, those are my jeans." She's like, "I've been looking for those jeans." And Leanne goes, "How did your jeans get in his laundry?" Turns out I had come home from the airport, gone to Julie's house to party, put my jacket on her chair, her jeans were on the chair, picked up my jacket and her jeans. I was like, "Fucking cunts, I told you. I fucking told you I'm not a cheater." When the machine story went viral, and the reason I'm so sure I told you this. When the machine story went viral, the reason it went viral was someone in my class had written, I was on this trip, I was in Bert Kreischer class. This story's 100% true. He fucking robbed us, right?
Right, on Facebook.
On Facebook. Dude, I screen grabbed it. I'm not even joking. I screen grabbed it, and I sent it to Tom, and I was like, I knew I wasn't lying. And he goes, I believed you the whole time. I go, no, I didn't believe myself.
Yeah.
Like, I have, like, whatever that guilty, like, as soon as someone has money missing, I think I did it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. I'm sure there's, like, some fucking...
We got to get Tom on, too. Tom Segura, your co-host. How's he doing physically after his... If you haven't seen the clip... it's very relatable to anyone who played any sport at any point in their life and then gained some weight in 20 years and then said, "I'm going to go do this again." It scared me off of playing basketball for a little bit there.
He's doing good. He's doing really good.
Would he break? Tell me the whole list of injuries.
So he went to jump, and as he went to jump, his left patella ruptured.
That's such a bad injury too.
That's just the start.
Like that's not even. I know, but that alone, people talk about like the ACL as being a bad injury.
Yeah.
If you rupture your patella tendon, that's like the most painful knee injury that you can possibly have.
Well, his exploded because apparently it wasn't meant to solely hold 280 pounds. Like his patella was never invented to hold what he did to it. So then that exploded, and then Tom, in his quick thinking, grabbed his left arm to catch his body. Now that left arm, the humerus bone, also is not meant to hold 280 pounds. and it broke in half. And then, because he was moving so fast, because when that much mass moves that forward that fast, it spun in a circle, and his arm was facing as if it was like reaching for a cheat notes in class. Like, hey, man, can you pass me the notes? And now this happens in a blink of an eye. It happens in a second. He's like, hey, you guys want to see me dunk? And we're like, uh-huh. Everyone's like, get your cameras out. This is going to be good. And you hear pop, pop, and the panic noise of real pain that
Yeah.
like not like ow, 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 like
The
and
gasping, yeah.
call 911, call 911.
I watched it. So I have a sick thing where I love watching injury videos.
What's ironic is he does too. That's the irony in all of this is if you show him an Asian guy getting kneecapped by a car in a garage, he is crying
Yes,
laughing.
that's me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the same way. It's puke videos and any type of horrific injury, I will watch it every time.
I just love that his body just quit on itself. He was like, nope. I'd rather self-implode than do what you're asking me to do right now.
And he was so competitive that day. Because now here's what you need to know about me and Tom is athletically across the board, I've always been better than Tom in everything there is to do. There's not one thing he can hold a candle to me at all, ever, anything. And I know that. I'm a little bit like, I because I played sports growing up, I can pick up very quick. He said one day, he goes, I've been taking tennis lessons, and I, without knowing where he was in tennis, I said, I'll destroy you. And he went, you don't know how good I am. I said, it doesn't matter. I destroy you. And he goes, but I don't know how good you are. And he goes, I said, doesn't matter. I destroy you. And he goes, let's play tennis. And I said, let's play tennis. I aced him 42 times. I aced his tennis coach. His tennis coach pulled Tom aside before the match and said, heads up, your boy's got a Division I serve. And he was like, what? And he was like, I have no idea where his game is horrible, but his serve is fucking top notch, and he's got 3 different types of spin you need to watch out for, and when he puts the heater on, it goes past you. And I, by the way, I have a Division I serve in tennis. So Tom's like, what the fuck? I aced him so bad that it was no longer funny. His wife came out and brought his kid to cheer him on, and then she put him in the car. She didn't want him to see it. It was that bad. So when we went to play basketball, Tom all of a sudden was better at me in basketball, and he was like, yeah. I also, and this is from doing Travel Channel a lot, I knew you don't always have to give it 100%.
Right.
Because you can get hurt. So when playing basketball, I'm kind of just fucking around going like, I haven't not moved around a lot. I was the fattest I've ever been. And so when we went to dunk, I was like, I'm not going to fucking hurt myself. Tom was like, I'll hurt myself.
Yeah.
And man, it happened so quick. And I'll admit, my initial instinct of resetting his arm wasn't the best idea.
How long was he actually out for?
Oh, dude.
Like 6 months?
Dude.
He had to do everything, right? He had to do all rehab and everything?
The best parts of this story are the aftermath. There's so much. Because here's the thing so everyone loves Tom. I love Tom. He's my best friend. He's hilarious on stage. But the funniest parts of Tom are the sad parts. Like when he goes so... We go to his house. I go home and tell my wife, I go, Tom's fucked himself up. He's in the hospital. She goes, we need to drive over and help Push. Push is not equipped to do this by herself. And I was like, you're right. So we go to Tom's house, and I buy if you're lifting an old person, they put a belt around them. I buy one of those belts. And they're like, what the fuck is this for? And I go, we're going to have to get Tom in this house. He can't use any parts of his body. I need to put a fat belt on him and carry him. And they're like, okay. So he gets there, and when Tom is like bummed out, it is my favorite look in the world. There's not a child who's dropped an ice cream cone that could do it better. He's got a little look where he just goes like, and so I put the fat belt on him, and I carry him into his screening room, and I throw him on the thing, and he's sweating now. They didn't even reset his arm at the hospital. He's got a brace on his thing, and he's just like this. He's in pain, and he looks up, and my wife just looks at him and goes, "You're about to get fat as fuck." And his look on his face was priceless.
Did he have stairs in his house and shit that he had to get around?
He did. He had a ton. He had a 4-story house in the Palisades.
So they had to do the old person chair that took him up and down the stairs?
They were like, okay, we're gonna have to make a ramp to get him in and out. We're gonna have to. They had old people. So
all because he played basketball.
All because he played basketball, and he said, "Do you want to see me dunk?" The best
for half a second he played basketball.
The best is now. Tom and I are also very different men in comics, and that if you see us on the street and you're like, "Oh shit, Bert, I will match your energy, and I'll be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Want to get a picture? Sure, let's do it. If you do that to Tom, he will shut down and be like, not now, and just walk away. So he's not a dick, but he's not like, fame is not why he ever got into this at all. So the next day, I have to get him medical transport to get him to the hospital. This guy shows up with long hair, it's clear he's been smoking in this van. I now have a wheelchair. I get Tom in the wheelchair. I wheel him out to the thing. I get him in the thing. Tom's also overweight. This guy and I are struggling to get him there. It's the height of COVID. We're all messed up. Tom's messed up. He's in the same pants he was wearing the night before. Same sweat. Smells. We get in the back of the van. There's no air conditioning. The guy's like, we start to drive, and Tom just looks at me, and he's like, he's at his lowest. He now knows he's going in for a full time of surgery. And he goes, and the guy goes, so, what do you guys do? And I go, we're comedians. And he goes, tell me a joke. I go, Tom, tell him a joke. It's just his sadness was the funniest thing out of all of the whole fucking thing. We got him in the elevator, and his arms like this, his things like this, and he got stuck in the elevator. And I mean, there was so much to it. We had to take him in. I had to take him into the emergency room at Cedars-Sinai in the peak COVID. We're talking December of COVID of a year ago, and we had to get him to piss in a bottle. I mean, it was talking like I literally said to him, if you've ever questioned how much I love you, let this remind you that this is how much I love you. That was a really intense time for friendship.
I can't even imagine how you would take a shit like that.
He didn't actually for a while because he was on pain pills. So he was on so many pain pills, he wasn't shitting. And then when he started shitting, he had COVID. So he thought he was just detoxing from pain pills.
Oh,
and
Jesus
these are all
Christ.
stories. By the way, these are all stories you would never hear from Tom Segura. Like he would never tell you these. Oh. But yeah, it was an interesting time in my life. And then I ruptured my arm and blew out my tendons, and he was great for me because he helped me. He got me a physical therapist. And
I know that you're a golf fan. Can you still play golf with your injuries?
Yeah. I played Pebble Beach the other day on the fucking. Have you ever played with the one that's got the screen?
I played it several times on Tiger Woods 2005. I think that golf game, maybe the best sports video game of all time.
Maybe the best. So I was addicted to that game. I love that game more than ever. I played real Pebble Beach. I was playing the one that you hit into the mat and it shows up. So I played that the other day. But I played Pebble Beach for real, and it wasn't until hole 5, the par 5 uphill. You know the one on the cliff where you hit and then you got to hit up blind into until I went, I've played this fucking course a million times. I was actually on hole 3, I think, or hole 3.
You're like, this is way easier in person than it is. I'm well prepared.
I got up there and I go, this is a drivable par 4. And he's like, it's not drivable. I go, it's 310. It's a drivable par 4. And he goes, it's uphill. I go, it's a drivable par 4. I hit 5 balls until I got up by the sand trap.
We got to get you down to the Masters. That would be great to have you go cover the Masters there.
Oh, that's all you had to say.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. That is all, dude.
That's the perfect environment for a guy like you because it is, it's the old school place, very buttoned up. Tradition's important down there. They do like fake bird sound effects on the broadcast.
No way.
They really doctor it up. They spray paint the grass to make it look greener than it really is. They do have an army of people that walk around like picking up every single leaf with like little tweezers to make sure that it looks perfectly manicured.
Golf tournaments are fun as fuck. We used to go to the TPC every year out in St. Augustine, I think that's where it is. But all I know is that hole 17, we just sat by that par 3 and just watched, and everyone would bet. It was the funnest.
Yes.
Yeah, but getting you down in Augusta and inside the Masters, that would be maybe the best content that I've ever had.
I would come all over my pants to be at the Masters.
That's how you get in. They'll hear that and they'll be like, okay.
Hey, man, I guys hope you know I came in my pants for this. Oh, cool, Bert. Thanks.
Wait, so when you walked in here this morning, you have a show in Newark on
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So we're gonna run this Friday. When's the next show?
In Brooklyn on I'll tell you exactly. By the way, my wife called and was like, texting, do you need something? I'm in Brooklyn on the 31st, Providence, Rhode Island, the 1st, Portland, Maine, the 2nd, and then Albany, New York on the 3rd.
So you're doing the whole up and down East Coast. You came in though and you're like, my goal today is to just not drink until 5 p.m.
If I can not.
What happened yesterday?
Oh no, I've been good. That's my whole thing is I've been good. And then I got on the plane last night and we do this thing called private suite. It's where it's like a separate entrance. We got it for COVID, and now I'm addicted to it.
Wait, what is it?
It's private suite. It's a different entrance. You go, so like the airport's here, all the gates are here. Well, it's on the other side, and you pay extra, and you go to a private suite, and you hang out there, and it's stocked. You can take whatever you want out of there. It's stocked. They bring you caviar, and then they put you in a car and drive you onto the tarmac, onto the plane.
That's amazing.
It costs more, but if you've got parents that are older like me, it makes sense because they don't want to be in the airports during COVID and
right.
And then and for me and my team, when we fly out, we all meet at private suite. We all hang out, party our balls off. It's fucking all you can drink. And then we get on the plane. So I was like, I'm good. I'm not drinking. I had a busy day yesterday. And then I got there and they had a bottle of wine and brought champagne and caviar, and I just got fucking lit. And then got on the plane and then but didn't drink on the plane. Passed out. Listened to the Ryan Leaf podcast. Have you listened to that?
Yeah,
No,
we've had him on our show. Yeah,
He is fucking fascinating.
yeah.
Like, and by the way, I didn't follow any of that when it was happening.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't. I don't. I only watch. I don't give a fuck about the Jamarcus Russells and Ryan Leafs. But like, I will listen to all of Ryan Leaf's podcasts last night.
He's got a good head about him. Like when we were talking to him about, as he was going through that process, he's able to look back and like very clearly, completely self-diagnose. Here's where I fucked up. Here's where the reasons are. He's a smart guy.
All I could think is, don't get the big house. That's all I thought. And I just bought a big house.
You did?
Yeah, and I was like, but I was hungry in that small house. In that small house, you had nowhere to go, so you got up and you left, or you got up and you went out back and you wrote. In the big house, you're like, I'm gonna polar plunge, I'm gonna take a bath.
Like you have all the amenities.
It's crazy. Like that's all I heard is don't get the big house. And it's interesting because I've been pushing away. My wife loves our big house. My daughters love it, but I've been distant from it because I go, this isn't mine. Like I still need to work. I still have to work. This isn't mine. It's fascinating, and it's fascinating to hear the way his brain thought about vengeance and vendettas, and because I know dudes in comedy that are that way,
right?
And I'm like, whoa.
What is it? Do you think about guys in comedy that it's almost like they're so sensitive all the time? Like they've got these egos, and so much of what drives them is just based on like hatred or like trying to bring somebody else that they think they're more deserving than down.
Well, it really is. You're talking about a group of guys who were more often than not cool in high school, not athletic, couldn't do anything, never had a bunch of successes under their belts. And so then when they get to comedy and they get and there's a lot of rejection in comedy, when you get that success, I know the instinct. There's a period when you get a first flash of success where you want to tell everyone to fuck themselves.
Right.
You want to tell everyone that, and I went through it. I mean, I'm not saying that everyone went through it, but I went through it where you get that first thing and you're like, you want to call up the agents that didn't want to work with you or people that didn't want to help you and be like, I told you, but the best thing you can do is shut your fucking mouth.
It's the old Bill Murray. Like, I think you said it specifically about Chevy Chase, that everyone gets 1 year to be a dick when they become famous.
Yeah.
And then you got to adjust. And then Chevy Chase obviously never did, but that was like,
I never was a dick because, so I got very lucky. In that I had small Travel Channel success, not success, but it was just like stripper money, like it was good money. And then everything went away. And during that time, when you get fired from Travel Channel and you don't have a special and you're just working the road and everyone, including yourself, thinks this will not happen for me, it is an insight I wish every comic could get, because you see the comics that look over your shoulder when they're talking to you at the store. You see the comics that look in your eye. I'll tell you the comics that look in your eye. Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, Tom Segura. I'm not saying that other people don't. Joey Diaz. My friends, my small group of friends, they're the guys that none of that shit matters. I mean, Bill Burr and Joe Rogan, I have said this before. When I walked into the backstage of the store one time, they were like, "Hey man, your show sucks." And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Your travel show sucks. You're wasting your life. You're a talented comic and you're awesome on podcasts. Focus on your podcast. Get your special done. Fucking be undeniable." Joe Rogan probably more than Burr, but Burr just is a quieter dude. Rogan was like, "You need to get the fuck out of Travel Channel." And when I got fired, I remember you find out who real people are. And then when you do their first theater tour and you sell them all out, and then you add shows and you start doing Red Rocks, and like I'm doing the Greek on May 5th, small plug. But like you can find out who those real people are and who the real, because now there's people that would look over my shoulder that are like, "What's up, Bert?
Yeah.
Hey man, I heard you got a project going. Like, what's going on? You and Tom sell something, man? If you ever need a fat astronaut,
right?
You know,
right?
Plus
try to invite themselves on. Yeah.
I feel like the podcast just in general is so much. It's perfect for you because you don't have to worry about having like a full team of people to approve every idea that you have, or like.
And I have a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, but the bad ideas are usually the best ones.
Oh, we're
right.
Yeah. Oh, dude, let me tell you something.
You should do a show that's just strictly bad ideas.
I've had, by the way, I've had bad ideas that are so bad that everyone says they're horrible until fucking Dave Portnoy greenlights them, and then all of a sudden, Bert Kreischer's a goddamn genius. And then I have my next bad idea, and everyone's like, quick, before Barstool does it, and it's not a good idea anymore. So I came up with Two Bears Sports Management probably like 3 years ago. I was like, we need to start signing talent. It was a joke, and Tom's like, what do you mean? I go, we need a talent. We need to find talent. And we talked about it. We laughed about it. Athletes reached out to us. We talked to one guy, the Handshake King. We signed him. But then you guys did it, and all of a sudden, all these agents that mocked me hit me up. They're like, "You still doing sports management?" And I was like, "Man, we don't have the infrastructure they do. They're a different animal. Like they're gonna do it and succeed." Tom and I were just thinking about a lark, and then I came up with stupid fucking Two Bears Racing, a racing team, and I fucking just invested $100,000, and I'm just waiting for Dave and you guys to do it so that it's a real idea.
What is
I bought Tom a race car.
You bought him a race car
for his birthday. I bought him a race
damn.
car. So we do gay birthdays. So we do gay guys buy the best presidents ever, right? So one year Tom bought me like a $3,000 electric bike that goes 40 miles an hour.
Oh, those things are sick.
They're awesome.
Yes,
and they're even better.
They're motorcycles.
They're even better at 2 a.m. when you're drunk and no one's out, right?
Yeah.
So then the next year I bought him. We said, for our birthdays, we'll buy more expensive gifts every year, and until we get to $1 million. And so then,
unbelievable.
But I'm like looking at my time. Like Tom's 42, I'm 49. I gotta speed this up, right? So I buy him the next year. He had moved to Austin. I bought him a $15,000 wave runner that goes 70 miles an hour, right? So he's like, nice. So then this year,
does he use it?
Every fucking day.
Oh, okay.
Tom's a speed freak.
Okay.
So he gets on glass and just he uses it so much he bought a second one.
Okay.
So then this year he calls me up. I'm stressed. We got the movie coming out, or we're wrapping the movie. I'm doing screenings in like Sugarland, Los Angeles. I'm doing shows. I'm on tour, and I'm stressed out. Tom knows, and I'm doing Two Bears in Austin, and he knows I'm stressed out. And he calls me up. And he goes, "Happy birthday! Don't worry about next week." It was like my busiest week. And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Don't worry about it. I got you. After your show in Minneapolis, I got a private jet. It's going to pick you up. It's going to take you to Austin. We're going to do two Bears. Then the private jet's going to take you to Sugarland, and it's going to drop you off to go to the screening of the movie. Then it's going to take you back to L.A. so you can see the girls and do your voiceover. And then the private jet is going to fly you back out on the road." And I was like, "For real?" He was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "And it's not one of the tiny ones. It's the fucking G5. It's like the fucking big one. It's like $70,000."
Yeah.
I'm like, all I thought was, motherfucker, I got to spend $100,000 on this guy next year. So I said to him, he's really into cars and racing. And I said, let's start Two Bears Racing. I'll buy you a race car for your birthday. And he's like, are you being serious? And I said, yeah. And he goes, no, you don't mess around with me. This is like my dream. And I was like, done. So I bought a $56,000 race car. We're doing endurance races, BMW endurance races.
Hell yes.
And I would love if Barstool could start his race team to make this fucking real.
Yeah.
If you guys just pitch this around the office, if Barstool starts a race team, then all of a sudden my idea doesn't look like a weird fucking idea.
Where's the race?
All around. Endurance races are forever. So our first race, I think we're going to get Rogan, Tom, and Matt Farah to be our race team. It's over 24 hours, so they each are just doing laps and laps and laps. I've got them a trailer. I got everything wrapped. I got them 4 extra tires, and I've got a crew that's going to be there for
I'm in the race.
So it's like it's on one track though.
It's on one track, and it's all different types of cars. So you're not really racing. You're racing against people in your by the way, I don't really know what I'm talking about. So I don't know what the fuck. I just have the money to buy the fucking race team.
What does the winner get? Tell me the business plan on it.
The business plan? Ad sales.
Okay.
Yes.
So already in just talking about it, all our advertisers for Two Bears have asked if they could buy space on the car. And I'm like, oh, this could work out pretty good. Secondly, live events. So we do live events, and me and Tom, and so content for live events is always the key to a great live event. This could be a great live event, either hosted there or shot and then taken on the thing. You have I made sure that my car has all cameras and the video on the inside, so people can live stream and watch Tom race a car for fucking endurance races.
I'm down to drive.
Yeah. By the way, let me tell you something. I came up with the idea thinking, because I literally thought, how do we get into Formula One?
Right.
And then they're
That's
like,
a lot. Yeah.
No, but
be a Russian oligarch.
Yeah. And so they said, well, you got to start somewhere. And then all of a sudden, this guy, Matt Farah, who has a great podcast called The Smoking Tire, he hit me up. He goes, this is actually a really great idea. And he goes, for $100,000 investment, you can get into endurance racing, and I can help you out. And he knows everything about cars. So we bought the car, we bought the trailer. It's in Sacramento. It shipped yesterday. It's gonna get
Fuck yes.
Yeah. And so that's Tom's birthday present, is a race team.
I love
That's
it.
an amazing.
I love it.
Yeah. So now, what's the expectation on your part for him to come back at you next year? What's the ground floor for the price level?
I'm assuming we're just gonna double up. I'm thinking $200,000.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want like a ranch house in Montana. Like I really. By the way, I told this to a gay dude, and he goes, "Do you know the stress we have when my boyfriend buys me something for Christmas that I've got to one-up him?" The one-upmanship, because it's dudes, right? It's fucking dudes. So there's the competition there. Then there's the love. Then there's the disposable income. We had gay guys writing in their favorite presents they brought him. Dude, it was like, my boyfriend got me tickets to the Subway series. It was like the best fucking presents. Gay guys are just guys. They're just guys.
Right.
They're just fucking guys.
Give
They're just guys
presents.
who get sick ass fucking presents.
Sick ass presents.
Not all of them want Gucci. Someone let's go to the Masters. Let's go to the,
Right.
So that's fucking. I'm expecting a big present next year.
I
can't
love
wait.
it. I love it. All right, my last question. You should get Roback to sponsor the race car. Roback. Go to rhoback.com. We have some.
Oh, I know Roback.
Yeah,
Dude,
20% off if you use code TAKE.
What size you wear?
By the way, they just sent me a huge fucking box.
Oh, they're the best. They actually are the best. Like,
They are the best.
the most comfortable clothes.
We went to a lacrosse game. I got my Roback box for the podcast.
Look at this.
They and it was cold, and I pulled out a couple of the overshirts, and my dad fucking was like, "Who is this?" And I go, "It's this podcast sponsor. It's Roback." And he was like, "Shut up." He was like, "Buddy, can I go through this?" And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, "No, this is gonna fit you." I was like, "Easy, big guy."
Yeah, no, my dad loves this stuff too. Like I think it's the
fucking
most comfortable
awesome.
stuff in the world. So roback.com, use code TAKE, you get 20% off. Sponsoring Bert's racing team eventually.
Look, I don't know where the money in this is. See, that's why I need you guys. If you guys start your race team, then I know you guys will figure out where the money is.
Well, Dave has got like a very good eye for business and how to make money off this stuff. So
because when I pitched sports management to Tom, however long ago, my agents, no one could figure out how you can make money. And then you motherfuckers came in and you're like, collegiate athletes. And I was like, That's why you guys are where you are. I'm not even joking. And I saw you guys in Dick's Sporting Goods the other day.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that fucking brain. That's a once in a lifetime brain.
Yeah.
You guys have a beautiful collective here of brilliant fucking people.
Well,
Yeah,
it's a
and
combination
chaos.
of like brilliant chaos and then a lot of weirdos.
A lot of weirdos.
Weirdos are great.
You
though.
gotta
I
have the
love
weirdos.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many companies out there that almost exclusively hire non-weirdos. They do everything that they can in their process to make sure that no weirdos are working at like an ESPN or like a Fox Sports. People love fucking watching weirdos.
Yes.
They put
Weirdos
asses
are
in
the
seats.
best.
Dude.
They're the best.
Weirdos, bad ideas are like, I love this one guy's hit me up because I have we did a thing on Two Bears that I love original ideas. I love original ideas, the ideas you never heard. And this guy, one guy who was like, dude, may not be the best idea. I got 2 dishwashers in my house. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, who the fuck? I just load one up and then I have one empty. So when I load the other one up, I put 2 dishwashers in my house because of this fucking guy that wrote in. I put 2 dishwashers in my house.
Change your life?
I don't know. I don't do dishes, but my wife loves it.
All right, Bert, thank you so much for stopping by.
Hey,
Everyone go check it out.
anytime you guys are in LA, please come do my podcast.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're in Austin, we always need guest bearers. So so if you're ever in Austin,
How often are you down in Austin?
once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once a month.
We're in.
Yeah, I used to live there. I go back every chance I can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So we're in. Yeah.
appreciate this. It is I'm telling you, thank you very much for having me on.
Yes, thank you for coming on.